What's cracking, everyone? This is Solomon SK for Whiskey and RPGs, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. It's been a long week, hasn't it? Man, but yeah, hope you guys are home, and if so, hope you guys got your glasses ready as well. If you're ready to hang out, let's cover the news together. Cheers to you guys. So the biggest news seems to be Blue Protocol from Bandai Namco, and this news article is in Japanese, IGN Japan, which is really cool, and they covered their live streams. But since we can't, or I can't speak Japanese, we'll take a number of other articles out there detailing sort of the details. So detailing some of the details. Wow, it is the end of the week, isn't it? But anyways, the first article that we will cover comes from massivelyop.com. Blue Protocol aims for Japan first, the world after, confirming Western arrival. I don't know if it's necessarily absolutely confirmed, but we'll read on with the article. The closed beta is on the way. Excitement and anticipation is building for the anime-style Blue Protocol, but when it will come out, and perhaps more importantly, where. There seems to be some confusion this week, as the developer quote possibly indicated that Japan will see the initial launch of the game with a global rollout thereafter. At least it doesn't take the release in North America and Europe off the table, even if that time frame is vague at present. Fans translated and transcribed a developer stream covering the statement, and quote, "The interviews we have said that it was intended to be global from the start, but CBT as it follows," and this is in brackets, the closed alpha test. "We will test CBT in Japan for feedback purposes. With it be global or be certain regions, we can't really say now. There will possibly start with EU and NA first. We're still preparing, but Japan will see release first, since it is designed to be," and this is also in bracket, "to be very Japanese, and will be interesting to a global audience. We don't want to present this half-baked to be to the rest of the world." So yeah, going over to MMORPG.com, they pretty much say the same thing, covering the same quote that was translated in Reddit. And if you go over to Char, excuse me, I still don't even know how to pronounce that name. They more or less also say the same thing. So yeah, I think this is also really cool news. I know a lot of us are looking forward to this game in a market that's flooded by Korean and Chinese MMO buy-to-play, free-to-play titles out there. And yeah, the only dominant JRPG or MMORPG seems to be Final Fantasy XIV. And so this is definitely welcome news. I mean, so I know that when you think of certain the origins of a particular game, regardless of whether it's an MMORPG or not, there are certain characteristics that they're known for. You know, for example, if you think of a Korean MMORPG, you typically think of a game that's just absolutely gorgeous in terms of graphics and the aesthetics. Like Black Desert Online obviously comes into mind. And so yeah, I really hope that this gives us a wide variety of having a wide variety of games, like a diversity of games, is always a good thing for the consumer. And yeah, I can't wait. This is definitely going to be interesting, because till this day, and correct me if I'm wrong, I really don't think there seems to be sort of an anime cel-shaded aesthetic MMO that is very successful right now. I know they're out there, but the key word being successful. And I know, so therefore I know there seems to be a huge demand and interest for Blue Protocol. So let's see where this goes on from here. Speaking of JRPGs, there seems to be new updates for Genshin Impact. If we head on over to Gematsu.com, they seem to have also released new information about a new character. And these names I still cannot pronounce, so I'm not going to even try. But yeah, it's really cool to see that some of the backstories that they are releasing for the game. And if you actually look towards the bottom here, Genshin Impact is due out worldwide for the PlayStation 4, Switch, PC, iOS, and Android in 2020. It is playable on the PlayStation 4, PC, and iOS at PAX East in 2020. That's really cool. I believe that's going on right now. Or no, not right now, but pretty soon, which runs from February 27th through March 1st. Actually, it is running right now. Never mind. Oh, that is so cool. I hope we also get a lot of information regarding some of the trailers and some of the gameplay, if they're showcasing that there, because this also looks like it's going to be an amazing game. I still wish it was an online game, but they did switch it over to, I believe, a single player JRPG with maybe some online co-op elements. I'm not exactly too sure. But oh wait, okay, so I just found out this article: Genshin Impact 12 minutes of PAX East 2020 PC gameplay. So I will be having this playing at the top over here. Obviously I can't play all 12 minutes of it, but yeah, IGN Japan has posted 12 minutes of gameplay footage from the PC demo of the Mihoyo developed open world action RPG Genshin Impact, playable at PAX East 2020. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. PAX East 2020 runs from February 27th to March 1st at the Boston Convention Center. In addition to the PC, the PlayStation 4 and iOS version will also be playable at the event. So this is really cool. And yeah, let me know what you think of the graphics. I took a look at some of the gameplay, and I'm really excited about this one. So the next bit of news comes from massivelyop.com, and this one kind of warms my heart. Everquest's 21st birthday includes agent system level 85 boosts. Man, I can't believe it's been 21 years. That is some. Oh wow. Because I actually do remember hearing about this game, because it's like this is one of the first games that was mainstream where you actually had a monthly fee, and I remember at the time it's like, who wants to play a game and have to pay a monthly fee? That's so dumb. I remember thinking that to myself. I was really young back then, but you know, who knew that I'd be such a huge fan of these type of games over the years. But anyways, over at Daybreak's Darkpaw Games, Everquest team is taking the MMO out to a bar for its first legal drink. That's actually good. Who wrote this? Justin over at Massive VOP. That's some good writing right there. I like that. After that, expect a big 21st anniversary update come mid-March that includes freebies and a brand new feature. The freebie is a level 85 character, which will be granted to all subscribers. This will help get players in the zone for the Overseer system, which starts at level 85. Overseers is a passion project, and that's in quotes, from the team that lets players start out agents to timed remote quests and bring back rewards such as, or much like Star Trek's Online's duty officer system or Rift's minions. Unfortunately, I don't know what any of that is. It's been a while. It's definitely been a while since I played Star Trek, and definitely been a minute since I played Rift. So yeah, if you are an EverQuest fan, I know there are a few of you out there, and you just want to go back for the nostalgia or just check out some of the 21st anniversary celebrations, I'd recommend checking this out. Hell, I might even go in just to check things out, even though I never played EverQuest, just because it's just such a huge, it was a huge game. At least, I mean, it still kind of is, but relatively speaking, it really isn't anymore. But I'm still glad that this game is still up. I'm still glad it's getting content, just because of the nostalgia reason. So sticking to massivelyop.com, Inside Star Citizen talks about upcoming survival mechanics and the release of the Anvil Carrack. There's a whole lot to talk about this week if you're a Star Citizen fan, but one of the biggest topics is easily the release of the hotly anticipated Anvil Carrack ship, which is finally in-game and playable now. There's also a weekly update that details work on incoming survival mechanics, a traveler's guide post, and or that looks like microtext moons, and a little infograph with trivia about mining in the verse. In other words, lots to cover, so let's get started. The most intriguing part for me isn't the ship, but the survival mechanics, and they go on to say that in this week's Inside Star Citizen video, we get to look at the actor status system, which is a $5 description for a survival mechanic like hunger, thirst, body temperature. The devs at CIG are trying to toe in line between making the needs of the player avatar something to consider when traveling to different worlds without making them a primary chore like in a typical survival sandbox. So I think that's really cool, but I definitely do think there needs to be a balance, because if you make it like too intensive, then oh, man. So where do I begin? So I think they should absolutely put that mechanic in there. I think it absolutely could enhance the gameplay, especially for a sandbox MMO, right? But at the same time, if it's too focused on that, it seems more like a chore than it is anything else, and that kind of take away from some of the fun factor, if you will, for lack of a better term, from the game. So figuring out that right balance, I think is really cool. But the fact that at the same time that you could also, as it says here, you could experience hyperthermia, hypothermia, and other physical maladies, all of which are demonstrated in the video. Yeah, like being able to just manage your own body temperature or things like that, because let's face it, like those are some of the things that you will have to consider when you think about planetary explorations, and I think something like that will definitely enhance the experience of the space MMO genre. But if they get it right to the point where it's not too intensive and it absolutely just gets blown over in your face, like, oh, you have to do this or else, like that, I think that's really cool. To me, that's a bigger news than the actual ship, because even though the ships are beautiful, don't get me wrong, and somebody actually posted some of these beautiful screenshots of the ship, and it does look amazing. Like it's still only a part of the universe, like what are some of the things, what are some of the gameplay and the mechanics and some of the features in the game that actually allows you to immerse yourself in the universe. And to me, that's bigger news than the ship itself. So heading on over to MMORPG.com. So in the last episode, we covered this article, but we talked only about the first part of the roadmap in terms of what Temtem wants to put out, and they released the second part, and that's what we will be covering now. So in the first part, like we said, they got different timelines, like spring 2020, summer 2020, and fall 2020, with different aspects of the game that they want to release, like matchmaking, club management, new Temtems, new islands. But yeah, over at the part 2, winter 2020, again, new island, 30 new Temtems, second mythical Temtem, Club Dojo Wars, spring 2020, 1.0 launch. So is Temtem officially launching in spring of 2021? I believe that's what they're probably aiming for, if that's what it means. But yeah, endgame island, console ports. Oh, they're releasing the console too. Very cool. Okay, daily, weekly quests, cosmetic store, and things of that nature. So yeah, it looks like they have a pretty set roadmap if they can stick with it. But again, as I said earlier, they said please, take it with a grain of salt. It's not absolute. Things could change. These are the things that we want in the game for the planned for the plan right now, and things could change. So definitely be on the lookout for more updates as we go forward. So this is kind of more industry news, going back over to massivelyop.com. Funcom, 4th quarter 2019, Dune takes priority, Conan Exiles confirms paid expansion, so more content, Tencent buyout continues. This is something that I learned last week that I didn't know about, but let's read on. It's been an interesting financial period for Funcom, what with the Tencent buyout and investors pushing for an accelerated production on the Dune survival box. The Norwegian studio posted its 4th quarter 2009 financials today, showing a drop in overall revenue compared to 4th quarter 2018, as well as a drop in overall revenue for all 2019 compared to 2018. However, the studio points to improving revenues and a growth player base for Conan Exiles. Glad to hear that. It touts that the last 3 years of the EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and monetization. Wow, that's a mouthful. And it suggests that 2019 was an investment year with, quote, strong December 2019 sales to be received in 2020. So yeah, as for Dune game, Funcom has now categorized it as an open world multiplayer title, still in pre-production with the premium games as a service business model and an investment budget of 30 to 50 million USD. Holy cow, that's a lot of cash. So I did play a little bit of Riders of Icarus before for about a week, and it was a beautiful looking game. It was pretty fun, but the game was kind of dead. Now, the game actually, from what I could recall, did go offline, but another publisher actually bought the game and revitalized it. So, that's always a good thing. The latest patch of Riders of Icarus is out now, allowing players to experience the Call of the Wild. No, this does not mean that you could change, or no, this does not mean your character gets to roam across the wilderness with a CGI dog and spontaneous narrative based on a novel by Jack London. Instead, it allows you to get into a tussle with Yudaman, an evil so powerful it apparently corrupts every essence of life itself. You can get a new pet or mount from the raid dungeon, but it's not a dog without a very broad definition but it's not a dog without a very broad definition of dog, and that's in quotes. so so yeah, I don't know how many people here still play Riders of Icarus, but for those of you who still do or are interested in a game that's very focused on mounts, pets and mounts, they're kind of the same thing almost in a bit, and you'll get that if you've ever played the game. Yeah, you got some new content for you as well. So then we head on over to altchar.com. If I'm saying that wrong, please let me know. I always want to say alt chair, but there's no I in there, so I just pronounce it alt char. Anyways, Massively Entertainment had a rather eventful state of the game recently when they revealed exciting info for Division 2, including a free weekend event and a return of the fan favorite DPS gear set from the original game. Purchasing Division 2 at the time of this writing of this article would set one back just $3, but just in case a potential player was still on the fence on whether to buy it, the game will be free to play from February 27th through March 2nd, 2020. If you are looking to get into the free action, you might want to start downloading immediately because it will take a while. So yeah, if this is a game you're on the fence about playing or buying even, but really it's really just $3 though. Holy crap. That's actually all right. Well, still free is still better than paying $3 though, right? So Star Trek Online starts off another event campaign with a return to the battle at the binary stars. The anniversary event for Star Trek Online, another anniversary, so many anniversaries, has just been wrapped up, but starting on March 5th, a new year-long event campaign is kicking off with the return of the Battle of the Binary Stars. This first event runs from March 5th until March 26th, with daily clears of the aforementioned battle FTO at any difficulty, counting for overall event progress. 14 days of progress unlocks new survival kit, a non-combat drone, 25 dilithium, and 3 featured FTO reward boxes. You'll also get your choice of marks rewards from the FTO instead of the discovery marks if you prefer. Sorry, I don't know what any of that says. I actually did buy the collector's edition of the game back when it first came out, and back then it wasn't owned by or published by Perfect World Entertainment, I believe, or maybe it was. I can't even remember because it was so long ago. But yeah, if you're a Star Trek Online fan and if you are wanting to get back into the game, well, you got some exciting updates coming your way. So we head on over to massivelyop.com for our next news, and this is one of my top personal favorites, and that's Blade and Soul. It says, check out footage of Blade & Soul's upcoming Unreal Engine 4 client from the Korean server. It's a well-known fact that Blade & Soul is getting an engine upgrade to Unreal Engine 4. How much will that actually do for the game, though? Sure, we've all seen the trailers about the engine upgrade, but those are trailers, and thus intended to delight and surprise. YouTuber RenderMax has the answer for you, with roughly nearly 20-minute walkthrough of the game using the UE4 client on the Korean Frontier server. The bright side is that the game definitely looks good. On the flip side, though, it's clearly more work to be done. He's upfront about the fact that the client crashed multiple times for him whilst filming, and it's rather difficult to play in areas with more than 10 people at once. While there's certainly no release date for the upgrade on the Western version, it's still nice to get a glimpse of what the client and the upgrade will look like in action. So this is cool. At least they're very honest about it. Again, if you guys known me for a very long time, you guys know that I'm a graphic snob. I do love playing games that look absolutely beautiful. And does that make a game good? No, absolutely not. At the end of the day, I think the logic that gameplay is better than graphics beats out in terms of again, if you were to come at it at a rational sort of logic, but I still love my graphics. Another big news actually is Baldur's Gate 3 launches in early access in 2020. First details, gameplay, and screenshots. This is actually really interesting. I didn't know that Baldur's Gate was still a thing these days, but anyways, and this comes from Gematsu.com. Developer Larian Studios has released its first details, gameplay, and screenshots for Baldur's Gate 3, as well as announced it will launch for PC in early access in 2020. So there is an about sort of feature here, the most authentic Dungeons & Dragons RPG ever created, and these are, some of their sort of public relations or PR answers that they give for the game, which, there's nothing wrong with that. using the Divinity 4.0 engine with AAA production values. Again, like I said before, most authentic Dungeons and Dragons RPG ever. Hundreds of locations true to lore, spanning over hundreds hours of gameplay. Evolved turn-based combat true to Dungeons and Dragons. And so, yeah, they're definitely trying to hit a specific demographic. But regardless, it should be really interesting. And obviously, I'll have some of the footage playing above me. And so, yeah, if you want to learn more about this game, definitely head on over to Gematsu.com. But if you actually just go to any general RPG site, they are going to cover this game, just because back in its heyday, or at least in my opinion, back in its heyday, it was such a huge game for especially those who played a lot of turn-based strategy and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, and real quick, this is probably something I should have mentioned earlier, but Black Desert Online is free to, or not free to play, I'm sorry. Well, technically, I guess you could say that because it is a buy-to-play game, but the game is actually just 100% free right now. It's a buy-to-play game, and sometimes you could actually get it for as low as around $5 when it goes on like a 60-50% sale. But even then, if that's just too much for you, the game is actually free up until I believe March 4th, and this is because of their 4th anniversary celebrations that are taking place right now. So yeah, as you can see from the screenshot, if you head on over to Steam page, it's 100% off, $0, add to account if you wish. And so yeah, you know, if this is a game that you wanted to play but for whatever reason you didn't want to, hey, free is free, right? So, and for all my Guild Wars 2 fans out there, we stick with massivelyop.com. PAX East 2020 Guild Wars 2 teases visions of the past Steel and Fire video. And again, I'll be having the trailer playing up above me, as you can see. Blink and you'll miss it. Guild Wars 2 next big thing just got teased at the tail end of PAX promo post, complete with half-minute video. Full announcement: the next Guild Wars 2 content release is coming soon. ArenaNet vows you'll see the full trailer on March 3rd, but the teaser is to celebrate the Steel War brand's successful infiltration of PAX East. And it says tanks with multiple A's, and it's a link. Let's look. What is that? Oh, it goes over to the Reddit post. Okay, fair enough. So when more news about this next expansion or next update comes available, I'll definitely cover it when the time comes. And heading on over back to Gematsu.com, roguelike dungeon defense game, Dungeons of the Endless, coming to PS4, Switch this spring. Ah, man, I really wish this game was out for the PC. So one of the things that I really like about this game is that it has that old retro style, as you can see in the trailer above me. But yeah, again, roguelike dungeon defense game, Dungeons of the Endless, is coming out to the PS4 and Switch both physically and digitally this spring. Publisher Merge Games and developer Amplitude Studios announced the physical edition includes the base game plus various updates and downloadable content, including Deep Freeze, Death Gamble, Rescue Team, and Organic Matters, as well as an escape pod keyring with 16-page sprite booklet in the box. It will cost $30 USD, 24 or 25 pounds, such and such. But yeah, it's this is something that has definitely been on my mind over the past month, especially. Like, we're seeing a lot of roguelike games, and I would definitely love to cover more about it. But just judging from the gameplay itself, I definitely played games similar to like this, but I never played a roguelike game like this before. So this is why it interests me. Hopefully they'll bring this out to the Steam or Epic Store. Either way, I really hope that I could play this one way or another. So that does it for today's MMO and RPG news roundup. If you made it this far with me, I really do appreciate it, because the watch time is something that the algorithms really likes, and it's not something that a lot of YouTubers talk about, but it is there. But anyways, I hope you guys have a blessed night, have a wonderful Friday, and I will catch you guys next time. Cheers.